Hey everyone, Mr. Hancock here. This quick video is going to be over just like a basic introduction or explanation to your 50-point world literature exams online, okay? So I have it set to where, I used to have it set to where there was different types of tests and everything like that. So it's like short answer, then some were essay, and it kind of switched up a little bit. But I'm doing something from here on that's going to be real basic and easy to follow. Once you get one, you can get the rest. From here on, I'm going to be doing essay exams for all of your online, even in-class traditional world literature exams. So what you'll see is that, and I've explained this before, every unit in online, say for instance for my online world lit, every unit is, say, 4 weeks-ish long, usually 4 weeks, maybe occasionally 5 or less or something like that. But so typically we have a 4-week unit. On the 4th week, the exam will open up. Just like everything else, it'll open up early Monday morning, and it'll be due that following Sunday evening at 11:59 p.m. So a lot of students are going to be like, all right, so what is this test? What's this test about? What am I supposed to study? How is the test going to be? So I want to use this time to go over what the test is generally, what to study, some suggestions and things like that, all right? So what you see is this handout that's pulled up. This was first posted in week 4, the same weekly module that has the first Unit 1 exam in it. And so I'm going to go over this just for a minute, but also I want to explain the exam, all right? So number one, understand that it says up here, it says midterm and final exam tips and suggestions. This will apply for those too. The differences between, you'll see for the midterm and so on, those will be a little bit larger and they'll expect more from you. But still, you'll have the same setup and everything. It'll just be a smaller type of exam for your other unit exams. So even though it says midterm and final, the same stuff applies. All right, so when we're first looking at this, understand the word essay. And this is one problem that I see with a lot of students is that they have a hard time, or I wouldn't say a hard time, but they have a different understanding by what I mean by the word essay. So go back and remember, if you can, your Comp 1, Comp 2, what an essay is. So the first thing when I say an essay, what that means is it is multiple paragraphs. It's not just one big paragraph or one small paragraph. An essay is multiple paragraphs that all work together to get a job done. So think in terms of you need an introduction with a thesis. You'll need multiple body paragraphs. It depends on how big, if it's a midterm or if this is just a Unit 1 exam. It could be anywhere between 3 or 4 good body paragraphs. I would say 3 is a good average for your exams. Then no less than 3, I can tell you that probably. But 3 body paragraphs and then a conclusion that wraps it up. That's the number one thing we have to understand that hurts a lot of grades is students don't give what they're supposed to, which is an essay, okay? So that's the number one thing. That's what an essay is, okay? So with that being said, we know that we're going to have to write an essay. Each regular unit exam is going to be 75 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. That's a traditional length of a traditional class essay day, or exam day, excuse me. So 75 minutes. So you'll see the timer set for 75 minutes. Once you click it, you got to finish it. You go into it and you do it. You take care of it. When you're done, you push submit, and that's all, okay? What you'll notice is that when you click into it, you'll be given one essay topic. You have to write on that essay topic, okay? You are allowed to use your readings. So, for instance, you can have the Norton opened up, and you can reference, say, the Declaration of Independence, I don't know, or Kant's essay out of the book and make notes and quote him directly like that. That's totally fine. However, you cannot use any other extra introductory, secondary research or handouts or websites or anything like that, okay? Bringing in extra information from other websites will hurt you bad, okay? Especially if you copy and paste stuff, that will be grounds for plagiarism, and refer to the syllabus for that policy. So I always say you can use your textbooks and the actual primary text themselves, but you can't use anything else, okay? So anyway, you'll be given one question, and when you get that question, you answer the question. Okay? You simply answer the question in an essay format, all right? So like, what's the question going to be? Do I know? No, you won't, but I promise you this. I always tell students this. When you open up the exam, if you've been reading every week, if you've been contributing to the discussion board and the reading journal, you will not be surprised. As a matter of fact, you'll be very prepared, okay? And you write an essay on that one topic, and then you're done, okay? There will be a rubric attached to it. I will use that rubric to fill out to grade the actual essay. You can, once it opens up, you can view the rubric and everything. And that's how that works. That's how that always works. So looking here for a second, I just want to kind of go over this really quick. So if there's something I haven't covered. I've said a lot of that already. Like I said, it says you will choose one topic. Right now, like in Unit 1, there's only going to be one question. There's nothing to choose. You'll have one question. When we get to Unit 2, there's a lot to say about Romanticism, say in World Lit 2. So you may have two choices. You may get to pick which one you want to write about. And everything there, okay? And notice I say no more, no less. That's important, all right? I want you to focus on answering that question. Don't try to show me that you've read everything and you know everything and try to impress. Just answer the question. That's it, all right? Also, I've already mentioned that you can't use anything else there, all right? Let me see. And so on, yeah. You have to use the allotted time. Take your time. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, so let's just go over the tips. All right. Number one is there a study guide? No, I don't have a typical study guide that I give you for these. Your study guide is to read the text and use the content that you're working through in your discussion board and in your journal as your study guide. Like I said, if you do those, you will not be surprised with the very basic question that will be provided for the exam, okay? If you don't read, if you don't contribute to conversation, then yeah, the exams will be very difficult. So going in here, study the discussion boards, all right? Study everything you can in that situation. Oh, it says that they're a close mirror image of the test items. I wouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't say it's a mirror image. It's not going to look exactly the same. But the questions that I give, the prompts that I give in the discussion board and in the reading journals are used to prepare you for discussion or for you to analyze and express your opinion through the exam. It will get you set up. You'll know the works well, and you'll understand the basic concepts of your literary movements or the main points inside the unit, okay? So study those. Practice. The one thing is this, practice, and I don't mean like practice a question. I mean when you go to sit down to type, when you're typing and putting thoughts on paper, press yourself and really push yourself hard when you're doing your discussions and your journals. Try to put it into an essay form if you want. You don't have to in those areas, but it gives you good practice so that when you do finally sit down to take the exam, you're prepped. You're like, you know what, I've typed a lot of these like essay formats in here before. I know how to put my ideas in that form. So practice is really helpful there, okay? And it's also with time, because what I'll have a lot of students do when they're writing the essay is they'll go in, they'll have a really big intro, really big first body paragraph with a lot of really good information in it, and then the last couple paragraphs are tiny and rushed and don't have much. Obviously, the student ran out of time. They put too much effort into the front part and not at the end. So practicing will help you be able to balance your time. Really, really keep that in mind. Also with that is you are given 75 minutes. Do not finish this in 20 minutes. Give yourself enough time to go through and use that time wisely. So if you get done in 40 minutes, which is totally fine, still take a little time to go back through and proofread. Check it. Make sure it looks good. Make sure your ideas are lined out. Make sure your thesis is clear. Take advantage of that time. I'll have a lot of students get done in like 23 minutes, and they have a bad essay. And it's like, wow, I bet that's, you want to kick yourself now, because if you'd just taken a little bit longer, you could have had a better piece, and it's too late at that point. So keep that in mind. Notice in C it says write just enough. Don't ramble. I've kind of already said this here, though. Don't just go crazy. Avoid summary. The one thing I have a lot of students have a problem with here, and it really tears them up on the test, is they simply just summarize the work. So they'll read, say, Jonathan Swift's Ahmad's Proposal, and instead of analyzing and answering the question and showing us what it's about and what it's really doing, all they do is simply start from the beginning and give a real quick summary. That's not good. That's not going to work, because that shows you didn't read, you weren't prepared. You could simply Google a Modest Proposal summary and get one of those. So that would just burn you. That will burn the whole test down. So do not summarize, okay? We want opinion in here. So please keep that in mind. Obviously, you know, like I said, you can cheating, plagiarism, don't do that. Formatting, talked about that, all right. Make sure you got an intro with the thesis and so on. Don't worry about citations. That'll freak a lot of people out. You can quote within reason, I would say. Kind of like if you go in and say, I would do something like, according to Kant, or Kant says, and then give the quote, and we'll know who you're talking about right there. This is when we get to literary analysis later, we will have to have documentation, but I do not require documentation in text or works cited on the exams. The exams are more about how well you can focus and analyze and explain that work, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily say there's a wrong answer in that sense, because everybody might have a different take. What matters is your ability to analyze and present it to the reader in that sense, okay? So there's that. I'm also going to put up in here a sample exam. And so you can go through and say, wow, okay, so that's a good way to do that. That's a bad way. Maybe something like that. I haven't really, when you're watching this, you may not see it up yet because I'm trying to still find the right one that could be a good example here. I have some, I just want to choose wisely. But I will put up a sample exam, something you can use. Okay, so that's what Hancock's looking for right there. So stuff like that. So anyway, I will keep you all posted on that, and you'll see it for sure. But as always, if you have questions, let me know. Do not wait until it's too late. Do not wait until Friday night or Saturday night when it's due on Sunday. Let me know as soon as possible. Take a look at it early, and that way we can try to work out any kinks that you may have before it's too late, okay? Let me know if you need anything at all. I'm here for you, okay? Y'all have a good one. Thank you.